headphones and you're not. And I'm like, hey,
Hi, Ashley. You feel like a noodle head?
I feel like a noodle head
My
in my
baby
big
noodle head.
headphones. Actually, one of my
Okay.
core memories of you is me saying, you can borrow these. And you trying to put them on your head and just fumbling them 1,000 ways and shoving them in your bag and going, thank you.
That's spatial awareness is not my thing. Also, I have a tiny baby head, and then I just instantly lost them, found them, and gave them back. So it was really just like a bonding extravaganza.
They just needed to pick up some energy from your house.
Wait, that's cute. I like that. All right, so does it feel more insert word here?
Connected to you.
Hi, happy 11/11. How
Happy
was your day?
11/11. My day was, it was kind of rough getting back to work after 5 days of not working, but
Very
in a
that.
good way. And like 10 minutes ago, I finished my last thing and I was like, damn, I feel kind of proud.
You. Good job.
Thank you. How was your
Thanks. So
day?
that was good. I was doing corporate finance all day. Aside from,
Finance.
I had a little doctor appointment. So we're in late stage capitalism. I took this whole, like, I love when people say 9 to 5 because that's not the situations I land in. They're much longer than 9 to 5. 9 to 5 would be a blessing. But I
You
took
said,
it and then I was,
haha, 7 to 7.
baby. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna have my little insurance. I'm gonna go to the dermatologist where you have to have this office visit for this certain prescription refill every so often. I've been
Okay.
having this prescription for years, like really not an incredibly important visit. But on my, like, I'm foregoing all of my free time to have this job to have insurance. The visit was
Use it.
$160. And I was like, this is late stage capitalism.
Out of
I
your
paid
pocket?
my pocket. Granted, there's some scheme where it's like, I don't know, 30, 70 until a thing and whatever. But I'm like, dude, all right.
It's a scam. A scheme and
I
a scam.
went to a woman I've seen a bunch of times with no complaints just to get a prescription I've had for years on insurance, $160. We're in late stage capitalism.
Yeah. The crumbling is about to commence.
Loved her though. She was fresh. At some
Yeah.
point, I was like, "Oh, I have this little like thing. Like, I don't know if this is a rash. I don't know what this is." And then she explained what it was, and then I was like, "Yeah, it's that. Definitely what I said was wrong. What you said was right."
You said you had that ready to go. I'm
No,
going with it.
like for real, you know, and I don't. But yeah, then I was like, "Hold on, how does that like? What's the root of that?" And she's like, "Nothing." And so we were texting this week about your body keeping the score. I'm like, when I get stressed, I told her this. I was like, my body doesn't stop in any way. My brain doesn't stop in any way, but I just get rashes for no reason on my body or like a cold sore or like this or that. So I was
Yes.
like, oh, just an unidentified rash. Yeah, you're right.
She's all, it comes from nothing. You're like, perfect. Then I know
She's
exactly where it's coming from.
yeah, thank you for validating that. I was trying to do some like 3D nonsense. Like I picked up some. No, she's just like, are you stressed? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
body beforehand.
I forgot that about you until you started sharing that. And I remember you had a sty once, right?
Multiple times. My styes will stay until I surgically remove them. They're just like, why don't you see the bigger picture, girl? And I'm like, no. And then
No.
I'm like, I can't see out of my eye. Wait, you had the really cool for the audience. I had a sty removed surgically earlier this year. And minutes after the surgery was complete, I got news of something that was happening at my work that was like not above board that I hadn't been aware of all of these months that I had this sty. And then Ashley's like, oh, that's what you weren't seeing. And I was like, yeah,
Whatever do you
wow.
mean?
What an improvement.
I sometimes too much will go to this book. It's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. It's right there. It's got the cute sunset. And I'll go find my ailment and what
Okay.
emotions are tied to it. Most of the time it resonates, but not always. But I try and now I try and check in first. Or
Yeah.
just be very grounded when I read it so that I'm not like, I'm this and this and this and this, and I didn't even know it. Same with oracle readings and stuff. Like, take it with a grain. But I
Extremely
love
that.
it. It's so wild. And I'll have random people text me that know I have that book and
This
be like,
book about
hey,
to be
look
me.
up random bruises. Yeah, look up this.
I
So
would be like,
good.
look up styes, but it's like you already found that out. So like maybe you ghost wrote that book. Is it
I
possible?
honestly,
Maybe.
Maybe I'm a ghostwriter. Or me in a past life. Or me and the writer. Here's what it is. Me and the writer are probably connected
Oh,
spiritually somehow.
100%.
I
You
like that.
might have your energy blueprint harkening on our previous episode that's so
Call back.
overlapped. Yeah, that you just like, you know how there's those things where people will collectively, like various people at the same time will be inspired for an idea and then they're like, wait, you copied me. Have you seen the
Yes.
history of that?
No, tell me there's history?
Wait, okay. Oh, I needed to have researched this, but it just popped into my brain. Okay, so like I think there's even like some like Mark Twain stuff that people are like, wait, you copy this. But like across time, there are a number of instances where like some prose, some invention, some XYZ thing comes up. And so someone's like, oh my God, I have this great idea, or this something like goes viral or the equivalent in like ancient times. And then everyone's like, dude, what the heck? Like this other person did the same thing. But it's like the theory is that the collective has this inspiration or this like download kind of brewing. And it's just like, is your field and your creative field open enough to pick up
Yeah.
on this collective creative inspiration? So it's totally not that they copied each other. I mean, sometimes,
Mm-mm.
yeah, but it's that. I'll come back on another pod and give like a good example, but I'm like pretty fascinated with that. And then I have one more addendum to that is that I have this tattoo. Long story short, it's like it was this bespoke, like experiential process. So I wrote a brief. The brief was about like matching your like human Gaia consciousness self and your
Mm-hmm.
divine self. So it's going to be personified by this like tree. And the tattoo, for anyone listening, the tattoo has like a tree figure, and then it's got these roots that are like netted and held by all these hands, and it goes up through like a vortex, and then there's planets and just like ether material. So it's like your divine self pulling and pushing and pulling in your human self. And it's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. But there's this picture this famous like kind of spiritual artist made that has some pieces of that tattoo that kind of overlap with this picture that I saw online. And I was like, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm like, either the guy who's making an experiential, like, I'm making creating this art piece for you tattoo copied her, or they had the weird collective insight thing. And I
I
don't know what it
believe
is.
so much in it. I believe so much in it.
I had a whole conversation about this on a date, and I was like, kind of bummed if he copied it. And the date guy was like, but you don't even know that he did. There's evidence all across history that people have this collective insight. And also, it's done, it's on your body, just drop it. So I'm like, you're right, you're right. It's a
Okay.
cool. Sorry for having epic art, but yeah, from now on, it's just the lore is that it was like the collective inspiration across like realms and timelines just happened and it's on my arm.
True. I mean, okay, what is that? I wish I knew the exact number. Our eyes can only see like 0.00001% of the light spectrum. And there's just so much going on around us at all times and all these timelines and all this information. And so I think about that in that sense of just like there's literally information flying through the air. And whoever is in
Right
a
now.
space to pick it up will. And several people probably will. And there was a theory in college that I learned about in economics class
Okay,
about,
economics.
I know, economics, which I thoroughly enjoyed for some random reason. Because here's not random. Here's why. Economics is all about math and equations and predicting based off the past, but they end every single thing with, but this means nothing. There's no way we can know. This means nothing. I
You're
love
like,
it.
neurodivergent hive rise. It's like, yo, patterns, predictions, and nothing matters. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Amazing. Amazing. It's called like, it's basically the all, I'm going to butcher it, but it's this hand, the invisible hand. It's called the invisible hand. And it basically guides life and progress. And it's just this energy over the world that guides movement and guides people together to create bigger things. And it's always what humans need when they need it.
Wait, this was an economics
This
class?
was
This
in
course?
economics.
Okay, economics god, slay.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
that god really gets it. So the point in the economics lens was just that like markets pick up what it needs, or what were the
Yeah, it
takeaways?
was
You're
it
like,
was
shoot, I'm not.
speaking to like supply and demand,
Yeah, for sure that.
bridging, yeah, definitely that. Supply and demand bridging something else. No, supply and demand between countries and continents. And like there will just
Mm.
always be this need, even if we stop using something, collectively we'll all want something different. So interesting.
You know
Also,
what that makes me think of? No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish the thought.
last thing on this, that how you were saying the experience of the artist, the two
Hmm.
artists. I have an example too. My younger brother is so convinced that he invented the McDonald's apple fries. Do you remember those?
That's a deep cut. That's a Mandela effect. But I feel like I was in that Mandela effect world.
Are the apple fries not real?
No, I'm just saying that. I don't know. It just seems like comment below if you know of apple fries.
Did apple fries happen?
Comment below if you could even Google to find any evidence that apple fries happened, but I'm not doubting it. Like, what didn't happen? What among us in infinite worlds didn't happen?
Truly. Name one thing. So he's very like still bitter. He's like, I invented apple fries and someone stole that idea from me. And then McDonald's bought it and they made so much money off of it. And it's literally just apples cut into French fry size.
It's giving delicious and expensive. Oh, I get that. You know what all these ideas about these collective insights reminds me of? It reminds me of Parallel Paths podcast where two wonderful women heal through hilarity and walk through life together, mirroring each other on Parallel Paths.
Yay!
We're workshopping that. Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I want to give it a go. We were going back and forth last night, going over some options of what we say. Welcome to Parallel Paths. I'm Ashley and this is Kelsey and we're your hosts on this podcast where we talk about life as it happens. The da-da-da, the da-da-da, and the da-da-da.
The highs, the lows, and the what the heck is going on?
What the heck is going on moments?
I forgot to even introduce our name, so you're already better. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the second part was what you nailed. Something,
That's how you
something.
co-create.
Yeah.
Highs, the lows, and what the, it was HE double hockey sticks, but I don't know. We're still trying to not swear. So, and what the heck is going on?
Heck,
We
I can't figure
each
out
other.
how to do a beep.
Something like that.
When I
No.
edited our podcast, I can superimpose an image. You let me know.
Listen,
But
I
adding a
saw
beep?
the edits live in my face. I was like, that's my queen. You know what?
Yeah.
Round of applause to our queen Ashley, who
Ooh,
can
yeah.
edit and add in images. I can't. I'm never going to be able. You know what? I could. No, I don't think so. I couldn't even figure out how to put headphones on. There's some skills I don't have, people. Fine.
And that is on co-creating.
And that is on not having to have it all because you
Yeah.
can collaborate with your friends.
Exactly. While you're walking a parallel path.
Well, TM. You guys know if I say TM, it means trademark, right?
TM.
I realize that, like, I've been saying that. There's a podcast I listen to that they say TM sometimes, and I was like, that's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like it.
Basically, parallel paths and TM, you could probably put two and two together, but
Yeah.
I believe
We
in
should
you.
trademark it. There's not a lot of like parallel paths stuff going on. And what if it's in the collective consciousness and some other
God, and someone thinks that we copied them? That would be bad.
No, we're the original and we need to make sure no one copies us.
Those words didn't exist until we started this podcast, actually.
No one's actually talked about parallel paths
ever in the history of time. Okay, I'm feeling like a little better about my tattoo maybe being freaking stolen. Whatever. Mark Twain or someone did it first. It's fine.
That's fine, as long as it was Mark Twain.
All right, so this week we want to get to some thoughts on your week, on your visit to church, and a game that I made up. What do you want to start with?
I want to do the game.
Yeah, okay.
I want to do the game, yeah.
All right. Let me put up. So what we're doing is a blind ranking of 10, and Ashley's going to be the blind ranker. Obviously, I can't because I made the rankings. So I'm going to give 10 wellness strategies. Okay, Ashley. And then so you know that you're going to have to choose 1 through 10. As we move along, it'll get harder and harder. First up.
Wait,
I'm
before we
excited. Do you want
start,
to do 15? Do you
I'm
get the
sad
game?
that I didn't. Yeah, I'm sad that I didn't pick some out.
No.
Can I
no.
Google wellness strategies so you have to react to some too, or no?
Can if you want, but listen, as a child, I watched my siblings play games, and anytime they're like, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, "No, I just want to watch." So this is fine. I have like a really interesting level of social anxiety where I'm like none until it's extreme. And then one point I was nervous playing a game as an adult. And like the answer, it was like the question was something about like what's a city on the East Coast, and I flipped, and my friend tried to give me a little hint because I lived in Princeton, New Jersey at the time on like a work rotation. She's like, "Hint, the city where you live," and I said my hometown from my childhood, and everyone was like, which is in the Midwest, and everyone's like, "What? Like, you're really smart. I don't understand."
He said, not in this setting, baby. Not here.
You're good. You're good. You could do the game. Okay,
All right, I'm
I'm
ready.
excited. So again, I don't want to give you too much context, so just go with it. Number one on your blind ranking 1 to 10 is yoga.
10. Ooh, that was loud.
Ooh.
A
Okay, we
loud
hate
10.
yoga. We hate yoga.
You hate yoga, huh?
No, I've torn my pec twice now doing yoga. Like literally F yoga. No, I'm sorry, yoga. It's fine. Okay. 10 is yoga. So next on the list, journaling. Okay.
Is this
Wait,
my personal? Is this my personal
You're
thoughts on
personal.
it?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
personal. You don't have to answer for the collective unless you feel like you're going to get the collective insights. Okay. The next wellness strategy is crying.
14.
Okay. 14, we don't like that. I love to cry to feel better, but I'm very repressed.
Wait, is 10 low?
Yeah, baby. You got it. So,
So
my
1
God.
is good.
So ultimately, the list will be your favorite of the 10 wellness strategies to employ yourself to your least favorite. And you currently put yoga in last place. Do you want to start over?
I want to start over.
All
So I
right. The
can't
new
go
game.
over 10.
I
I'm
should
not
have
ranking
said
them on a
more.
scale of 1 to 10. I don't think either of
You
us are
thought you
good
were
at
ranking.
games.
I got you. It was, you know
Okay.
what? I could have explained the game better. Here we are. So basically, you're
Okay.
slotting. Like if I'm doing numbers 1 to 10 and I hate 8, I'm like 8 is 10. And then, but I
Okay.
don't know. So if it comes to, I leave number 1 open and the last one is number 2 and I don't really like number 2, then
Okay.
now you get it?
I
Okay.
love
I,
it.
I
Yeah.
didn't explain the game great, but here we are.
Okay,
The
let's
new
go.
game is a partially blind ranking of 10 wellness strategies,
Okay.
starting with yoga.
I'm gonna give it a free.
Okay. Next is journaling.
9.
Okay. All right. We're in the game. We're in the game.
Yeah.
I'm tracking so we don't double count. Crying is the next wellness strategy.
1.
That's your favorite?
Confidently, yes.
I stand on me not liking yoga. When I thought she put it at 10, I was like, you can't tear your pec multiple times doing something and have that be helpful for your wellness. And guess what? With late stage capitalism, I don't think I'm getting my MRI this year.
I need you to define late stage capitalism.
Basically, just paying $160 for a visit. I don't know. Over it. Okay, next up, singing.
Did I already use 8?
You did not?
Wait, 10 is lower. 6.
Okay. Next, you've got breath work. And noting you already put crying as number 1.
Mm-hmm. Ripley's Believe It or Not, I'm putting it as 5.
Ooh, mom was a breathwork facilitator, but they're all good. And you can't always do breath work. That's what I was thinking about this on like from your lens, just dorkily, because I'm like that. And I was like, breath work might not be number 1 because it might just be like that's got its time and place.
Yep.
Crying has always got its time, right on time.
Crying never expires.
Right. Next, so you've used 3, 9, 1, 6, and 5. Next is burning or a release ceremony. So like you write something down and burn it or have some sort of ceremony to release.
8.
Okay. This might be a dumb one, but next is up is sauna/cold plunge. It's a wellness strategy.
And that's for my castrated workhorse girlies. I'm giving it a 9.
You already used 9, but
10.
10's open. Yeah. I was like, shoot, she might just be like 10 immediately. I work on a solar schedule with the men.
You and the man love a cold
and
plunge.
Like, I'll cold plunge because I don't suffer enough. Yeah, I was like, dude, this is gonna be dumb and it's gonna be 10, but whatever. You guys at home can do your own or give your friends these blind rankings, and maybe someone will have a sad enough life that cold plunging helps them.
Where would you put cold plunging?
Well, sauna cold plunge on this list, it would be definitely above yoga and probably like two more things. I'll probably get like a nice seven, just
Okay.
like
Okay.
suffer. All right. Next up, you've got praying, or it could be mantras if you don't like praying.
Have I
The
used
connotation.
four?
Nope, that's perfect. All
Four.
right, you've got two more. The numbers you've already used: 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So you've got
I have seven and two
2
left.
and 7. Yep.
Okay.
So we've got pulling a tarot or oracle card next up, 2 or 7.
Ooh, this is where the high stakes come in.
Yeah, it gets hard at the end. Because, yeah, the other one's going to get the opposite of 2 or 7.
I'm gonna go two.
High for you. Okay. And in seventh place, talking to trees slash nature healing.
Oh, I love talking to a tree.
Me too. All right, the official list top to bottom. Crying number 1 all day.
Stand on
Pulling
it.
tarot oracle cards number 2. 3 yoga. 4 praying or saying mantras. 5 breathwork. 6 singing. 7 talking to trees slash nature healing. 8 burning or release ceremony. 9 journaling. 10 sauna cold plunge for the people on the solar cycle that are castrated by birth control. For skin,
For skin. And for that it's worth it.
literally.
I'm gonna prepare a list for you next week.
Okay, that's fun. You know what? I had an idea. Another week we'll do brackets. I love to do bracket games where have you ever done this where you like choose however many things you want to how
Like a
big your bracket you want
basketball
to be?
bracket.
Yeah, but like I do with my friends where it's like, okay, we did one that was like little joys. So it can't be like Ollie, my dog, because that's like, of
Big
course,
joy.
that's gonna win all the bracket. That's not very fun. But I could be like, I don't know, breathing with the wind or eating a warm chocolate chip cookie, like little
Mm,
joys. We just make a big list and then someone just randomly puts them on the brackets. Then you ask the questions. It's so fun too. So we'll do that too.
fun.
But feel
Cute.
free to make a list next week. And congratulations on winning the game version 1 of partially blind rankings of wellness strategy.
I won the game. Pew!
I like that. Okay, what was the biggest surprise of the list for you?
That I put cards so high.
Yeah.
That I confidently threw them at a two instead of a
2.
seven.
Yeah, and like you could just get the tower over and over and
Yeah.
you know.
It's because I actually go to cards a lot. I had
I
to,
know you do.
I
Yeah.
do. I go, yeah, I'm feeling something. I go to my cards.
I
I
go to
outsource that.
go to cards that are oracle decks that are all positive. Otherwise, like when I was beginning to I don't pull tarot because I don't know like the mythology and all the symbolism and I'm such a purist on spiritual practices that I'm like, I don't know. But when I was just pulling some for just me for fun, I would freak myself out. Then I was like, is something bad gonna happen? No. So I'm like all oracle all day where I'm like, yeah, it's a beautiful day to love. Great
Mm-hmm.
one.
I
Mhm.
I don't do tarot unless I'm like hunkered down to do some
Yeah. You
tarot.
gotta be in alignment.
I've got to be in a midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis is crazy in your 20s though, girl.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm overusing that word or if I really have gone through a few.
Yeah, I guess like mid doesn't need to be like exactly middle,
Yeah. Quarter
right?
life. What do
Something.
what people talk about you know how people are saying like narcissist is overused and you're not actually manic and it's not really trauma, like we're just throwing out these terms too much.
Yep. Yep.
I hear that and I'm like, yes, I agree, and I'm still gonna overuse all of them.
Slay.
Not to be disrespectful, but because there's no better word for me to describe what I'm going through than
Yeah,
meaning.
everyone gets it. I mean, I throw colloquially out, but maybe that's annoying of me per my diction. So,
Define colloquially.
colloquially means you're using it informally.
Mm.
So it works. It's like, well, I'm just using it colloquially, as in like I'm saying I'm manic, but it means like I'm just manic, not like I'm experiencing mania.
So would I say I'm manic colloquially or I'm
Yeah.
colloquially manic?
Either will work totally. I don't know if I'm not 100% sure. I would say colloquially I'm manic or I'm manic, but I mean that colloquially. But that's just because
Mm,
like you get in your head that you can't say anything without someone getting mad at you. Kind
yeah.
of. I'm a
Yeah.
little that where I'm like I've gotten like any little feedback of my life, I'm going to think about for the rest of my life. So I just can't. I'm not brave like that. Well, I'm saying it colloquially. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Calm down. It's like a buffer. Okay, this you saying I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life made me think about the question I wanted to ask you, which was not even necessarily about the body keeping the score, but the mind keeping the score. And here's what I was thinking of last night, and it was for but a moment, but I'm just going to present it. Okay. As we go through life, we gather experiences, some of which are harmful, some of which are amazing, all of which that impact us stick with us, and they shape
Hmm.
who we are, and they shape our beliefs for better or worse.
Yeah, yeah.
I sometimes fear getting older because I'm like, I've already got so many things. I'm already a mosaic of so many things, and I just want to offload some of it. And then I literally thought, Kelsey's older than me. How does she feel about this?
No, this is a great question. Okay. Yeah. And everyone, I'm not a decade older than Ashley, but older enough to have experienced more ish. Like I'm in my
More-ish.
30s. So my first thought that came to my head, and then maybe I'll try to be really thoughtful about a even better answer. But the first thought is that sort of similar to a different podcast we were talking about, my photographer friend that was experiencing couples, and then he was experiencing all these interpersonal dynamics with these couples, and then over time everything just kind of turned into archetypes. That's a little bit how I feel about like your 20s versus like your late 30s, where you're getting all these experiences and you're kind of defining who you are and how you react to things and what beliefs help you integrate that experience or support or harm your psyche given that the lens of that experience. And it seems like a lot, but you start to kind of land on a couple belief systems that resonate, that kind of inform your experience of these like external inputs a little bit more archetypally, I think, for one. So that's
Mm,
the very first thought that jumped into my head, where when I was younger, I really am a high agency person. So when I was younger, I felt like I'm gonna perform my way out of anything, and it caused me a lot of suffering, where I was like control, not surrendered, perform, think, intellectualize, worry, da, 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 da. And it was like, oh my god. And so everything felt brand new, where I was like, I need to react to this like discrete circumstance
mm,
with some huge amount of wisdom and effort, and I'll get through it. And then I literally experienced enough circumstances that did not respond according to my control or my plan or my effort, that I actually got much calmer and surrendered into things not going according to plan. So really
mm.
like the extra age and all those extra experiences led to this archetype and this belief of sometimes things blow up, and I really felt attached to this outcome, and also, it's fine. Like, I
Wow.
will find more evidence later that this led to something good.
Mm.
And that kind of correlates to like one of my big bucket ideas and beliefs now that calibrated into my 30s. Like the universe
The
is conspiring in my
universe.
favor.
Yep. I knew you
Like
were going
that.
there.
Yeah, because and honestly, it's like kind of dorky that I say it all the time. I was literally thinking about us doing an event someday, and like me putting that concept as a mantra, threading that throughout the event so much. Not because I want to like, I was gonna say proselytize, but that's annoying. Uh, proselytize means like preach or your own beliefs, right? Not because of that, but because I found it so helpful that like the concept of not having to perform and think my way out of everything gave me back so much life force to
Yeah.
help people to experience joy, to rest, to play, to expand in my healing interests, to expand in my career, that I'm like, oh my gosh. So that's answer one. But before I go on, like, does that kind of make sense per your question, or is that a totally different direction and a perpendicular path?
Not a perpendicular path, a perfect one. No, that makes sense. And like what you were saying first, where your 20s, there was a lot of this shaping and almost deciding, and okay, there's this and there's this. But now it's like you've settled into this archetype of surrender, if you will, in your
Yeah.
30s, of like those big bucket beliefs that you then spoke about. A lot of your experiences are filtered through that. And so it's not so impactful every time and everything that you go through, or so life changing or altering. Like it's just more experiences, period.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I love it.
Yeah, I think it's really, and like of course there's so much nuance, but I'm hearing you say like I'm formed, my identity is formed by all these inputs, so it's overwhelming to think of more. That's kind of what I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing. I'm saying it
Yes.
really, like, fundamentally, at least for me, my 20s was that accumulation of all these inputs to help me figure out how I was going to approach life. And
Mm.
it did feel really daunting. And I think it is really daunting for a lot of people in their 20s because you're experiencing so many paradigms from this adult lens. And you're just like, oh my God, does it ever end? It's just
Yeah.
like, and some people, some people say like your 30s, 40s, 50s, you just have more resources. Like you've got more money or your friends have more money or whatever. You got more stability in your career. That's something. That's certainly true. But I always wonder when I hear that if it's just hard to articulate that you have more resources of your wisdom or your
Mm.
accept, right? Like enough. When I was in my mid 20s, I had a breakup that almost freaking killed me. Like, and not that I wouldn't I would love any less now, but I've gone through a breakup since then that maybe what the relation wasn't as serious, but it's like I literally said to myself, I once got through a breakup from something that was much more serious to me. Like I know with time I will
Mm-hmm.
laugh with my friends and I will go to a mountain and I will travel to a country I've never seen. I will eat a delicious bite of cheesecake, like I just
Yeah.
had that insight of like at the time when I was younger, I thought I would just die. I was like, certainly I'll die, and no one's ever experienced heartbreak like this. And then as I gotten older, I've been like, and it's not even sad. It's not just like, oh, you just get so beat down by life. You also find and you have evidence of so much joy that is going to just keep
Yes.
coming too. Like
Both.
you have more time to know, like I'm going to go low and I'm going to go high. And as soon as I thought in my younger years that I just wouldn't experience joy in the same way, or I wouldn't experience something new in a way that could make up for the pain I was in or whatever. Or just that I've also given evidence of me being able to figure something out too. It's not just like heartbreak
That you will
specifically. So
get through it.
yeah,
You will figure it
I'm gonna
out.
experience
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You'll
experience more
understand
joy.
it in retrospect.
Totally. I'm going to experience more insight, more joy, more grief. I'm going to I'm going to learn more tools. I'm going to make new friends that give me insight. And so I literally think like your word evidence that you used the other day is so helpful. It's like you just get more evidence to feel
Mm.
much more grounded in everything coming at you. Then it can kind of bucket into archetypes or beliefs. But I do think it gets easier. I find my later 30s a much calmer time than my 20s.
Mm. Love that. You're not in your later 30s, you're in your early mid 30s.
Early mid, late mid,
You're in
late
your
mid.
late mid?
Yeah.
37?
36.
That's early mids.
Okay.
Maybe it
Works.
is late
Like,
mid. You know
well,
what? We're
I
leaving
think
it.
35 is mid. Whatever. I'm 36. I'm a wise 36. I'm a cool 36.
I'm a
You know how
cool
cool I am at
30.
36? I'm hanging out with a chick in her 20s. Yeah.
And we party.
And by party, we eat charcuterie boards at our house.
Yes, that's what we mean by party. So good. I loved that. That was really nice to hear.
Good. We should
Yeah.
clip this for any 20 somethings worried they'll be sad. It's like, "Nah, you'll get over it.
You'll be just fine.
You'll literally be fine." Is there anything else on that lens, like from your perspective now that you're like want to share or that you're thinking about? Or it's more just like there's like a little bit of like anxiety around
Yeah, it was
aging.
more that. It was like this existential thought of like, I wish I could remember. I literally texted you in the shower when I had the shower thought, and I wish I would have wrote what I was thinking about, but I can't remember specifically, but it was just that like, wow, I'm already so much and have done so much and have learned so much and experienced so much and felt so much, and there's just going to be more and more and more.
That's
How
the
do
beauty
I
of life.
Yeah. How do I like dump to refill first? But probably breathwork is the answer.
Maybe breath work.
Shameless
Maybe
plug.
listen. You could breath work with Ashley. All right. The other major thing we wanted to chat about, if you still want to, if not, you're good. You went to
Church.
church. Yeah, I have to.
I
I just need to hear more, but maybe you're not
okay.
ready.
I have not a lot to say, but I'm going to touch on it in the name of how we talked last week about being vulnerable in the moment rather than in retrospect. That's something I really
Mhm.
want to practice, and what
Okay,
better place than here?
here we are.
Here we are. Immediately folds my arm and crosses my legs in my fully closed body position and holds my breath and tightens every muscle in my
You want me
body.
to talk about late stage capitalism?
No, it
Getting
was
old.
It was okay. Rather, I am okay. Going to church was so weird. And I thought me and my friend were just gonna go like funny haha, like let's go see if they're saying the same things that they once said. Because there's been a lot of changes in the church that we were raised in. And we were talking about like when we were being raised in this, we were told God's word never changes. Like, this is what it will be. And we're like, well, that's funny. There's some changes happening. So we just wanted to go see what was different in a sacrament meeting. I already said it, whatever.
I don't know what sacrament. Yeah, it's okay.
I guess anyone that watches this that me, that's literally me in sacrament meeting. Sacrament is when they give you like the communion or like the bread and water.
Okay.
I got served the testament, the what am I saying?
I hear served and think like you got like subpoenaed. I'm like, what?
I got subpoenaed to Christ twice to meet with Christ. The water, the blood of Christ, I was served twice. And I had a moment, I just thought it was so funny. It's so hard to explain this unless you understand Mormonism, but I went in there and I stood out like a sore thumb with my face piercings, with my tattoos. It is a very everyone looks the same type place, and these are not things that you have if you're Mormon. So just knowing that everyone was watching me get served the sacrament twice was so funny, and it's a reverent time. You're not supposed to laugh, and I was just
That's
hunched
so hard.
over, and my friend goes, and no, and I lost it. And that experience, for whatever reason, is what like sent me back to 15-year-old Ashley of like being watched, being judged.
Yeah.
Don't be loud, don't be disrespectful, don't be irreverent. And the rest of the time was just like
Like, let me conform in this way and like bring back
yes.
this old version of me. Yeah.
Yes. But just like you said, everything is conspiring for you. I was like, you know what, there is something in this for me, and I learned that I have not deconstructed religion at all. I just went, I don't really believe any of this, and left.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that came back up, which is cool to now start working through my fear of judgment, and
Yeah.
specifically from elder church women.
Those are the scariest down. Yeah.
I did a quick scan of the room to see if there was anyone there that was not white. There wasn't. They were all white. But
Like they're
as
like, no, like, come on.
come on.
The face, like a little tattoo is the outlier here. That's
Wild.
disorienting.
We sang America the Beautiful for an opening hymn, and then the national anthem was the closing hymn.
Were you in an
said
SNL
church.
skit?
Was I?
Are you sure it wasn't an SNL skit?
No, this is real.
All right, now let me be serious. All right. What I really think about is I think it's beautiful that you were brave enough to go be curious and just experience that situation from a different lens. So congrats on that. I really am proud of that. That's because like you didn't go to make fun of it. You had this true desire and curiosity to see what was going on and how you could present in this environment. And I just think like I don't think people think to do that very often. So that's cool.
I think it was a little bit both. Like there was still me being like, haha. But also
Joke's
that.
on you. Joke's on you. Like, haha. And then you're just
and
totally
then it's
traumatized.
it's traumatizing. Yep.
I don't know what to tell you on that. No, but I think the part of you that did take that as an opportunity to say like, what can I learn from this? Like, oh, this aha moment about how you did not process to the extent that you want to, maybe how that experience of going to that church in your childhood shaped you and the judgment stuff. Like that's really important. And like, how do you think you'll continue to work with that moving forward? Or do you think just the awareness coming from that experience will just kind of integrate over time?
I think the awareness is going to be big. Like, can feel tendencies from my 15 and 16-year-old self already coming up, like pining for attention.
Ooh.
And I've been having dreams the past few nights of 15 and 16-year-old me doing anything for a boy's attention and validation. Crazy. And I told Kyle last night and this morning, I'm like, I am starved for attention.
He's like, I literally live with you and hang out with you 24/7.
He's like,
No,
what do
that's
I
cool. Like,
do?
no, inner teen Ashley is coming up for healing. Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. AT double hockey sticks. Yeah.
Heckin' yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how it unfolds. I definitely would like to deconstruct it more, whether that's just me with me or me with a therapist. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. For a future
c'est la
date, I'm
vie.
curious to unpack more of church stuff since we both have
Mm,
that. I guess just big picture, do you think your formative experience with that church, like, were you severely bought in at the time?
when I was LDS,
Yeah.
it's such an interesting dichotomy because 100% there was no other option. It is the one true church. And
Yeah.
I felt all the shame every week of not being good enough for it and needing it to be
Yeah.
true. But simultaneously, I remember them saying, like, there's you, testimony, is that like a common word or is that a church word? Having a
I think it's a church
testimony?
word. I don't know what that means.
Okay. So your testimony is like a testimonial, right? Like I have a testimony that this church is true. And they say you get that from confirmation of the Holy Ghost and like knowing that Joseph Smith was the true prophet and yada da da da. And I never felt that, never once. And they would
Mm.
say, not just to me, but they would say this in general conference and stuff. If you don't have a testimony, lean on your families, lean on your brothers and sisters. They say brothers and sisters. Everyone in the church is a brother or a sister.
Sure, sure, sure.
But I never had one, ever.
Mm.
So, like, but I thought it was just because I was unworthy to feel the Holy Ghost and get
No.
that confirmation myself.
Did your immediate family have testimonies?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you think they like made them up in a way or no way?
I love
Is
that
that a horror?
question.
Do we have to edit that out? In their heart, not like lying, just like in their
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah, like I don't
I'm
know. I've
sorry
never
if that's
thought
a
about
bad
that.
question.
That's hilarious. That's a really It's a really funny question.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. All
Not
right, we can
getting
pass
edited
that
out.
one. Just pass
Yeah,
that.
pass. Okay.
I have a totally different experience with my church growing up, which was fundamentalist Christian, but I didn't resonate with it even as a child. It just, I'm just so sensitive to energy that I would go there and be like, this doesn't feel like resonant with truth, that this
Mm,
is like if God is love and this is like how to be a good person, but I would go to that church and just feel lots of judgment around and lots of negativity and fear, and I was just like totally like a pretty well behaved kid aside from going to church, and then I would just like not do my Bible study work, cause like throw fits, like be kind of removed from everyone. Like I would just go sit in the car while everyone was talking after church and just wait. Like I just didn't want to
yeah.
be there. And so it's funny because like in
You
some ways of
knew. Young.
yeah.
How old were
Well,
you? Did you say like 5?
I never really resonated with it. I mean, when I was little, I'm sure I just like sang the songs and whatever,
Yeah.
but the thing about me is like I'm really not influenceable at all. I like stopped drinking before it was cool. I don't like environments that I don't like. I love
Yeah.
stuff that's like I got really into astrology way before people were really into it, and just stuff.
Mm,
Like my friend jokes that I'm just like a few years ahead of the time. Like I
mm-hmm.
just do what makes sense for me, and then it's funny if it blows up or people like in hindsight think it didn't resonate or something. So in some ways I was like not really consciously terribly affected because it wasn't like this big interrogation of my beliefs that was
Mm,
like this acute discrete like huge thing. But then as I've gotten older I'm like, wow, this subconscious conditioning of course is affecting me. Like I think I took a little
uh,
bit too bold of a path to like reflect on and be like, yeah, it didn't resonate, whatever. It's like I have a
you
tendency.
took too bold of a path. What do you mean by that? Like
I'm saying
out
like,
or in life
well,
or
I guess I mean that I like felt very strongly, boldly, like a bold path, and just like,
mm,
oh, it didn't really affect me, whatever.
mm,
And now I'm kind of like teasing that apart to be like, of course, I was affected by a fundamentalist church I went to for hours a week, every
mm.
week over
As a
multiple days.
youth, yeah, when you're
Yeah, in my
developing.
formative years. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, I have this like very puritanical way of living, which is fine. I don't have any issue with it, but it's funny. I'm like, in some ways, like, who would have thought that a person growing up fundamentalist Christian that's like very people pleasing and like do good would be like, living this extremely puritanical life as a grown woman. Like I
Yeah.
really, I'm like, oh, you could put a video camera in my third eye and watch what I do all day. Be like, it's just literally the purest shit ever. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, and my views on sexuality are very, very Puritan, like just for me, not for humans. Like, but yeah, I'm like, huh, it's interesting. I'm like, I wonder if like in some ways I would be more of the wild version that I really respect and admire in you, where you're like, I'm a little too wild for this, or like I love my wild, and I'm like, I don't have any wild at all. That's very,
Mm.
very suppressed wild. But I then if someone's like, well, just like go try something crazy, I'm like, so I don't think I'm in any way want like saying I need this concerted effort to like perform wild, but I'm like, wow, I wonder how much of my like my choices are in this subconscious way totally informed by this like do good
Mm.
upbringing.
My hot take is that it's not. That you are so, like, you know yourself so well. And I love that you're like, I'm like teasing at it that there's, of course, there's something there, who knows what. But you at
Mhm.
your core are pure and sweet. And that is like someone saying, go do something wild to see how it feels. And you're like, literally, no.
Yeah, I
A
that sounds
sacral no.
horrible. No, a sacral no, correct. That's we're talking human design now, where like if you have a certain way of decision making is like you feel it in your gut. Yeah, I got not in a debate, but a good friend of mine who actually is also walking out of Mormonism or has walked out of Mormonism. He was like, as I left the church, he wanted to explore his like dark masculine and just different pieces of himself that he really did suppress. So he had such a like a true urge to explore, not that he did anything crazy, but just explore a more dark expression of his personality. And then he was basically suggesting that I might want to do the same. And we didn't fight, but I was just like, I'm not gonna go do something that's gonna make me feel weird. And then yeah, then I'm like, I think I might just be like kind of like puritanical. And so all of the things like the ability to derive my own value system outside of
Mm.
what was I was conditioned to do did it as like this cool special part of my soul path, but not that I had to unwind this like way of existing. Like maybe that was a gift I gave myself, is like that this just
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a big part of your life, because it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just do
I'll
this.
unwind it from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Unwound.
question everything as
Let
we
me pray
go.
and sing to my dog again.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think the church made me wild. My
No, I don't
lucky
think so
break
either.
is that I wasn't really suppressed. I was just like caged and contained. But I've
Mm.
always been wild. But
Yeah,
I
girl.
understand why people But I understand
I
how
don't even know how
there's
to do it.
all experiences. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it, but good for us.
Hey, no judgment here, though. I would say the judgment part is my least favorite part of church stuff, where it's like, let people just be, you know? I feel like church of just let people live.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah. I told my friend that after we left. I was like, I have this weird thing in my mind because I remember being in church and being so judgmental of people that weren't in church and being so like, they'll never be happy without the light of Christ. But now I'm judging the people at church. And I thought about it and I'm like, not really. There was a select few that I was, and I think it's the moms that I felt so judged by growing up. Like,
Yeah,
there's my trauma pieces.
yeah.
But it's the institution of religion which deserves judgment, in my opinion.
Well, wherever it's been exploited to harm people, for sure. And otherwise, like, do
Right.
you?
Right. And that's
Isn't
the
there
piece. Like, I
like a
don't want to
pop
judge
libertarian?
people. Yeah.
No. No,
Right.
I don't think so. I mean, we should not even judge people that are harming people, probably. Like,
But that's tough.
well, one thing just on that is if we grew up with their exact conditioning and brain and experiences, we would do the same shit. That's the
Right.
thing.
That's
Like,
the
I
thing.
actually think that. I'm like, we do know that
We
someone
would.
doing things that we wouldn't do is because we're not them. Like, I'm
Right.
at least there. To conclude, on parallel paths, don't judge people. And if you're
Yeah.
judging people a little, remember that you kind of would be a dick too if you were in that conditioning and brain. That's
Yep.
as far as I am. I don't know that I'm any farther than that, but I'm good with that, as being like, I have an intellectual awareness and empathy for the concept of
Right.
I don't know how I would, and I know for sure I would respond in a different way with different conditioning and different
Right.
brain and
And
different
having a different
modeling.
makeup, right? Even if it was you in their shoes, you're different. Your makeup's
Yeah.
different than they are. Yeah. I
See, we
love
did it.
that. Yeah. We did it. Yeah, like as a rule, when catching self judging others, Second thought counts, and that is that who knows? I would do the same if I was them because they're doing it, obviously.
Correct.
Yeah.
I feel good about that. Let's leave on that.
Okay, I love it. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
I feel very, yeah, no, great. Good singing. Ahoy, ahoy, amen,
Ahoy!
whatever you like. Isn't that a thing? Oh, I don't know.
It is now.
Ahoy. Next time on our holistic healing amazing podcast of the highs, the lows, and what the heck? Parallel paths. Bye, guys.